This team looks primed to make a serious run, except for everybody's asking about the quarterback situation, of course. You graduate the most experienced guy in the history of the program and bring back, you got the true freshman. And when I say true freshman, of course, that's in 2021 context with having the experience from a couple games in 2020 and Haynes King, who threw a couple touchdown passes last season, the redshirt freshman, and Zach Calzada. And what he did, he had 12 for 24 last season. And Eli Stowers, who's nobody's seen as just coming into college football as the 7th rated dual threat quarterback, according to the composite. So what do we know in regards to what these guys have shown us thus far?
Yeah, so it's obviously still early right now. And I think the first scrimmage is coming up this weekend. So we'll start to learn a lot more as the spring kind of rolls on here. But he's been happy with all three so far. He said, they've all picked up the offense, and he's been particularly impressed with Eli Stowers, actually, and just how quickly he's come into the program and started to pick things up. Obviously, Haynes King is a name that gets mentioned quite a bit, and his leadership and just coming from what he did in high school and learning under his father and kind of being a coach's son is something that has really benefited him so far in the collegiate level and in terms of leadership and picking up the playbook. And then there's Zach Calzada, who's just arm talent wise right up there with what he can do. And so this is going to go on for a while. I don't think we're going to really get an answer by the end of the spring. It's going to go into the fall. And Jimbo Fisher has kind of just said whoever kind of takes hold of those reps is who's going to win the job. And that's how he's always found success, is just let them battle it out, let them go through the spring, all getting the same amount of reps, all getting the same amount, and see who wins the job.
So if nothing else, I got the correct pronunciation on Stowers. I didn't know if it was Stowers or Stowers. I hadn't heard it before, I don't think, so I'll lock that in. And then when it comes to national perception, I got to say, Andrew, I don't know if you've picked up on this, but people that ask me about the quarterback situation in Texas A&M or comment on it, they just think that King's the guy and he's going to be the guy.
I think right now that's kind of the looking ahead to the fall. If there was a guy that people, the general consensus who thinks going to win the job, it would be Haynes King. He looked pretty impressive in his couple of games last year. It was a short stint, obviously, at the end of games against Alabama and some games later in the season, but. Zach Calzada is going to have his chance to win the job as well, but I think that's the general consensus, is that Haynes King is kind of the guy people do expect to win out.
It's kind of an interesting dynamic when you get so much experience and productivity coming back at the skill position spots, and then you've got this inexperienced quarterback. At least two of the three have been in the system and been on campus and working out, and so their teammates are comfortable with them and know them, but in terms of game experience, just not a whole lot there.